Hello and welcome to a brand new series, Crime NI. I'm Wendy Austin.
And I'm Dearbhail McDonald. Thanks for joining us.
Over the next 40 minutes, we'll be asking for your help to solve crimes right across Northern Ireland.
They were terrifying ordeals for the victims. They also impacted on friends and family.
But tonight's a chance to help bring those responsible to justice. If there's a case that you're able to help police with, you can do so in complete anonymity.
We've teamed up with independent charity Crimestoppers so that you can share information without ever having to give your name or any details about yourself. Here's how it works.
Good afternoon, Crimestoppers. How can I help you?
Crimestoppers is an independent charity, and for the past 25 years in Northern Ireland we've been providing a safe place for anyone who wants to give information anonymously about a crime in their community.
Yes, we are anonymous. We don't record any calls. I won't ask your name and I can't see where you're ringing from.
Crimestoppers is not the police. We're an independent charity here to empower people to speak up about crime. We know how difficult it can be, how frightening it can be, and we have our call handlers here trained professionally to support and help you.
Storing drugs now as well?
When you phone our 0800 555 111 number, your number is automatically encrypted and we don't see any of the details.
We can't track you, we can't trace your call, we never record your call, and we can't call you back.
Our call handlers are here to make sure that we only pass on the information that you know, not who you are.
And likewise then, whenever you submit information via the website, your IP address is automatically stripped and we can't see your details. So it really is 100% anonymous, always. On average, Crimestoppers passes the PSNI 10 pieces of information every day.
Many thanks for your call and we'll pass that on.
Most people contact us to do the right thing and to speak up about crime in their community.
Over the past 25 years in Northern Ireland, we've helped the police solve thousands of crimes, from small crimes right up to murder.
That Crimestoppers number will be on your screen throughout the show, and the lines are open 24/7. First tonight to North Belfast and an attempted murder. Have a look and a listen to this footage. That was the sound of a gun attack that left an innocent man fighting for his life. Now police need your help to find out who was responsible. Here's what happened. A black saloon car approaches Hopewell Crescent in North Belfast. Inside, two men. One runs down the alley at the rear of the houses. He's captured on CCTV. He's masked and carrying a gun. Around the corner, an innocent man is leaving a house. CCTV records the sound of what happens next. The man is hit 4 times in the chest and once in the hand. The two men drive off. They're next caught on CCTV at Carlisle Circus. Then on Clifton Street. They head north along the M2 before being captured again on Shore Road, turning into Gray's Lane. They abandon the car at Fort William Golf Club, then set it alight and flee the scene. I'm joined now by Detective Chief Inspector Dunny McCubbin. Now, Dunny, this was a very serious crime, and you believe a complete case of mistaken identity.
Yes, this was a vicious and premeditated attempt to murder an innocent man, and we do believe that this was a case of mistaken identity.
You've got some very good CCTV footage. Let's just take a look at that CCTV again.
So what we can see here is the gunman coming down the alleyway with the gun in his right hand. You can hear the shots being fired, and the gunman then retreats back down the alleyway to make good their escape.
Now, it was pretty dark, but The pictures aren't too bad, are they? There's not a bad description of them. Let's take a look at that.
Yes, it's a very good description. The male is around 6 foot in height, of stocky build, wearing a light coloured coat, wearing dark jeans and wearing a balaclava or potentially a white face mask.
Now, he obviously ran away to the car that was parked nearby and then it was burned out, and we got some pictures of that as well at Fort William Golf Club. But before that, there are some really very good CCTV pictures of the car on its journey. Could you talk us through that?
Yes, very good CCTV images of the car. We get it in the route, obviously going to and from the scene of the crime. So as you can see, we've got locations in Denmark Street, Carlisle Circus, onto the West Link as well, Fort William Junction, onto the Shore Road, and then obviously access to the golf club at Fort William where the car was burnt out.
And it was a Volkswagen Passat?
It was a blue Volkswagen Passat with a registration number of FHZ3287.
As you say, a blue car. So what do you need to find out from us today? How can the public help you tonight?
The public can help tonight, the police and Crimestoppers by trying to identify who the individual is. There's a very good description, but more importantly, a very prominent line of inquiry in this investigation is the Volkswagen Passat and the route that it took to the crime scene and the route to get away from the crime scene as well. Okay. So I'm appealing to the public for any information to pass on to us.
And speaking of the crime scene, we have a map here with the scene of the crime showing where the car was parked and also the alleyway that the gunman went up. So,
yes, in particular, I'm looking for any witnesses who have seen that vehicle in and around, particularly the scene of the crime and the transit route to and from the crime as well.
Danny, thank you very much indeed. And if you can help identify the gunman or have any information about that dark blue Volkswagen Passat with a registration FHZ3287, here's how to get in touch anonymously. Call Crimestoppers now on 0800 555 111. That's 0800 555 111. Or go online, crimestoppers-uk.org. That's crimestoppers-uk.org. Now, still to come, a high-tech car theft in Lisburn and a shocking aggravated burglary near Ballymoney.
Next, we have a crime that could have resulted in serious injury or death. Have a look at this. It's a car that's been set alight and left on one of Northern Ireland's busiest train lines. Only the quick reactions of a train driver prevented a major collision. Here's what happened.
The Belfast to Londonderry train line, just outside Bellarina. Every day, over 30 trains carry passengers down this line at speeds of up to 70 miles an hour.
A train had left Coleraine on Monday the 12th of April at around 8:30 and was heading for Bellarina Halt.
But with the train speeding towards Bellarina, events were unfolding at the level crossing that threatened disaster.
Two vehicles, a silver Ford Mondeo and a white Range Rover Evoque, travelled towards this level crossing. The silver Ford Mondeo was driven onto the railway line and set on fire.
CCTV from the train, as well as mobile footage from a passer-by, captured the blaze.
So as you can see from this footage, which was taken from the Limestone Road, the car's on fire, smoke billowing out of it, completely blocking the railway line.
At the same time, the passenger train's approaching the level crossing at high speed.
At 9 minutes to 9, the train driver observed the flames and applied the emergency brakes. It took 19 seconds for the train to come to a complete halt. What happened that night was incredibly dangerous for the train driver, for the train passengers, for the fire brigade and police officers who then had to attend the scene. This was a deliberate and a reckless act that thankfully didn't lead to loss of life. The white Range Rover Evoque made off and continued a journey along the Limestone Road in the direction of the Duncrun Road. Police want to speak to the driver of that vehicle and to any passengers. I really fail to understand the mentality of the people who did this. They could not have known that nobody would be injured. If you know who drove this white Range Rover Evoque on the 12th of April, please get in touch.
Incredibly dangerous indeed, and we'll be speaking to Jenny later in the programme. So police would like to speak to the owner of that white Range Rover Evoque. Or maybe you saw a vehicle matching that description in the Limestone Road area at the time of the incident. If so, get in touch, and remember, you'll be completely anonymous. Here's how to do it.
Call Crimestoppers now on 0800 555 111. That's 0800 555 111. Or go online, crimestoppers-uk.org. That's crimestoppers-uk.org. Now take a look at this CCTV. There are two suspects here, one on the top left of the screen, one approaching the front door of the house. They're using wireless electronics to pick up a signal from car keys inside the house and bounce it back to a transmitter near the car. The car unlocks, you saw the lights there, they push the ignition and they just drive it away. Simple as that. Well, with me now, once again, Detective Chief Inspector Dunny McCubbin. Dunny, what is going on there?
This is a fairly sophisticated new crime type, Wendy, whereby what you have is individuals who approach a dwelling with sophisticated equipment, and they use technology to bypass the car keys which are within the dwelling. And as you can see shortly, they've approached the front door using the equipment. Within a few seconds, you'll see the light come on in the front of the car. That signals the car is now no longer alarmed, and the second offender's gone into the driver's seat and is made off with the car fairly quickly. So
now,
very quickly.
This happened on the Hillhall Road in August, isn't that right?
That's correct.
What are you looking for here? What kind of assistance?
What I'm looking for from the public is, if anyone's seen the BMW car, which is obviously San Marino blue colour, it's a high-spec BMW, perhaps another car in convoy, anyone was in the Hillhall Road at that time of night, to please contact the police or Crimestoppers.
And anyone else looking at that who's asking how can they prevent that from happening to them, what would you say to them? Some
simple crime prevention advice, Wendy. If you have a garage, please use the garage. If you have gates surrounding your dwelling, please use the gates as well, and perhaps alarm the gates. If you have a steering wheel lock, use the steering wheel lock, gear lever lock, and indeed you can use a piece of equipment to protect the pedals as well to prevent them. Additionally as well, because it's a new crime type, what I have here is a Faraday bag. That's a very cheap piece of equipment whereby you put your keys in. If you've got them in the house, or indeed if you've got them within your person, of course, not forgetting the spare keys if you have another bag, that will stop the transmission of the wireless signals and prevent your car being stolen. Oh, very clever. That's great. Thanks very much indeed, Dunny. Some really good advice there. And if you can help detectives on this or any of the crimes on tonight's show, here's a reminder of how to get in touch. You can call Crimestoppers now, and remember it's completely anonymous, on 0800 555 111. That's 0800 555 111. Or go online, crimestoppers-uk.org. crimestoppers-uk.org. Still to come tonight on Crime NI. Can you help identify the gang behind this aggravated burglary near Ballymoney?
Right. Here's someone else who the police are very keen to locate. This is 25-year-old Mark Sheridan, who was serving a sentence for assault occasioning bodily harm. He was released on licence from prison on the 19th of May this year, but after breaching the conditions of his licence, he has been recalled to prison. Sheridan still has not presented himself to police, and detectives have been unable to track him. He's described as around 6 foot tall with a medium build, brown hair and blue eyes. He may have a beard and has connections to Omagh and Enniskillen. Police say anyone who knows his whereabouts should not approach him, but should contact Crimestoppers. Wendy.
Next to Ballymoney, where we need your help to identify a gang behind a truly shocking aggravated burglary. It took place on Christmas Eve and left the homeowner terrified and injured. Here's what happened. An isolated farmhouse near Ballymoney. It's Christmas Eve. Outside, CCTV shows 4 men approaching. The men come to the back door of the house. They begin to force their way in. The man tries to get away. But they catch him. And then take his phone.
Get up! Get up!
They tie his hands with cable ties, then his feet, and force him to the floor. The men search the house. But the homeowner manages to free himself.
Go, 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 go!
CCTV shows the men suddenly leaving empty-handed. The homeowner flees the house. But moments later, he runs straight into the gang, still in the laneway. He received cuts and bruising to his face and legs. Truly terrifying ordeal there for that homeowner, and Detective Sergeant Jenny Higgins is with me now. Jenny, after the attackers fled, he managed to get away and go to a neighbour's home and raise the alarm. How's he doing now?
Well, thankfully, Wendy's doing remarkably well in the circumstances. Almost 9 months on, though we would still say that he's traumatised by this incident, and the victim still has ongoing medical appointments due to some of the injuries inflicted at the time.
My goodness. We've got some of the CCTV here again. Maybe you would just take us through it, Jenny, because
Yes,
it's quite useful, isn't it?
Yep, this is CCTV. Corner of the outside light comes on, appears to startle them. Now, 3 of the attackers start to force their way in through the back door, and the 4th holds back. You can see that he is ringed there in white on the CCTV.
So he's probably a lookout. The other 3 have broken the back door and actually got into the house. What about these men themselves? Is there anything about their clothing or whatever that might help people to identify them?
Well, they're all wearing different clothing. The first still image taken from CCTV here shows one of the suspects wearing workman's type trousers. Now, although they look patterned on this still image, in real life they're probably all the one colour.
And then we have 3 guys with tops that have logos on them, which might be recognisable as well.
Yes, so there's pictures of these coming up. 3 different logos there, either across the chest or the left-hand breast pocket.
And they're quite burly, aren't they?
Yes, they give the impression that they're older gentlemen, certainly not teenagers.
Yeah. Well, that's all quite useful, isn't it? And then when they leave the house, when they run away, we've got some more CCTV. One of them runs back to the house and then runs away again. And a car goes past. Now, you're hoping that might be significant.
Yes, what I'm hoping is that in this car is a witness that police haven't spoken to yet. As I say, this took place in the Moyen Road area just outside Ballymoney. It was Christmas Eve, so potentially somebody's been dropping Christmas presents off or visiting a friend or a relative. Also remember, this was just before the national lockdown, which started on Boxing Day. So it could have been people taking the last opportunity to do a few family visits.
That's a very helpful point there, I think, Jenny. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And if you can help detectives, please do let Crimestoppers know. You can call Crimestoppers now. And remember, it's completely anonymous on 0800 555 111. That's 0800 555 111. Or go online, crimestoppers-uk.org. crimestoppers-uk.org.
Next to a case of a missing person. Oisin O'Connell was 49 years old when he was last seen on the 3rd of May this year in Portadown. Since then, there has been no sign of him, and his family and partner are desperate to know that he is safe. Earlier, I spoke to his partner, Nieves Carranza, and she began by telling us a little bit about Oisin.
Well, Austin is I used to call him Little Fun and Coquette. He's an amazing guy, an amazing father, very lovely person. He has no the good cards, the better cards to play in the life, but he did pretty well. I mean, always been very responsible, he was a fighter, he was a giver, lovely friend, lovely person. and the best partner I ever. I mean, he take the heart and put the heart to you in the hands. He conquered me the way he was. I mean, is.
I know, and you know, perhaps he wasn't given the best cards in life, but he has played them well. And I know that many people, including you, care for him so much. If he's watching tonight, or if there's anyone at home who may have seen him, what's your message for them tonight?
Well, I only want he come back. No worries about what happened. You didn't make any mess. You didn't destroy nothing. Only come back if you want. I'm here for you. You took me so far. I'm not gonna go to Spain. If you think I'm gonna go, I'm gonna stay here looking for you, because I know he did this. He would do the same for me. So, and if he wants to stay in the place he is stay, if he doesn't want to come back with me, it's okay.
It's just to let you know.
Let me know.
Let you know, let someone know.
And I can move on, yes.
Or let you know, someone else know, and perhaps the police or Crime Stoppers know. Nieves, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks to
you.
you.
And we wish you all the best.
Thanks to you. Thank you.
And that was Oversheen's partner, Nieves, speaking to me earlier. Well, with me now in studio is Chief Inspector Tim Flanagan, who is leading the search for him. We heard the devastation, Tim, of Nieves for that family. What is so unusual about this case?
It's very unusual for anybody to go missing without making any planning or without saying to anybody. And after 4 months of extensive investigations, it's really unusual to have no trace.
But we have some idea, at least in the immediate aftermath of his disappearance, because he boarded a train. And what happened next?
That's right. I think on the bank holiday Monday, he's bought a train ticket from Belfast to Dublin, and he stopped off in the Portadown area, possibly to buy new clothes, and that's where the CCTV comes in. And we would ask that anyone could contact Crimestoppers in relation to any of that activity in Portadown. Where was he going? What did he buy?
Absolutely. And sometimes, Tim, when someone goes missing, you might be able to trace them because they've accessed, they've withdrawn funds, they've used an ATM, or somehow we can just go through the financials and get some idea of where they've gone.
Well, that's right. In exceptional cases where there's a high level of concern, we can sometimes make those more intrusive inquiries. I believe that Briston has technical knowledge, that he has access to cryptocurrencies, and he has good online experience. It may be that he's spoken to people online, a different community that also may be able to ring Crime Stoppers and provide that information that we need.
And just finally, we heard Nieves, it's absolutely devastating, even for him to get in touch and say, I'm fine, even if he's not coming back. What's your message for him too?
Absolutely. We've worked closely with Nieves and the family, who are all concerned about him. And I would say to Briston, if you're watching this tonight, contact Crime Stoppers, let them know that you're safe and well. And if you want your location to remain private, we can do that. That's
fair enough. Well, listen, thank you, Tim. Thanks very much for coming in this evening. Thank you, Tim. Well, if you can help, please do get in touch.
You can call Crime Stoppers now, and remember it's completely anonymous on 0800 555 111. That's 0800 555 111. Or go online, crimestoppers-uk.org. crimestoppers-uk.org. Throughout this series, we'll be examining the different ways police teams across Northern Ireland are tackling crime. Tonight we join a new unit whose job is to stop criminals in their tracks safely.
All call signs is net. All call signs is net. Be on the lookout for the following wanted vehicle. Uniform Intercept 1. I have 2 intercept call signs here on the Mike 12. All crews preemptive TPAS trained. We can assist. Roger, that's perfect. Obviously preemptive would be our preferred option.
Northern Ireland's road network is key to how criminals operate. Every day they use it to move everything from stolen goods to drugs. Now a brand new PSNI unit has been established to tackle the problem. These high-performance cars are equipped with technology to detect vehicles on our roads being used for crime.
The ANPR Intercept team was set up about a year ago, and we're now established as a full-time team. This is the first time that we've had a dedicated team like this in Northern Ireland. So ANPR stands for Automatic Number Plate Recognition. If there's a shoplifting offence at a supermarket in Coleraine, the witness calls the police, they've written down the registration number, and that's then entered onto the police systems. If that car then goes past one of these vehicles in Belfast, it will come up as an alert to show that this is linked to this shoplifting, and my officers need to get out there and stop that vehicle.
But high-speed pursuits on public roads can put innocent lives at risk. That's why the Intercept teams are trained to do things differently.
Our job is not just about catching criminals, it's about protecting the public as well.
Roger.
Everyone on the team is an advanced driver, and they've also been trained in nationally accredited preemptive tactics.
This training exercise shows how ANPR intercept teams can safely apprehend a suspect driver. The ANPR system automatically detects the number plate of the suspect car and alerts the team.
That grey Audi has just passed us on the northway. It's just past the junction of Brownstown on slip, travelling in the direction of the train station present. If we can get her to stop at some of the lights here to put in a preemptive reinforced stopover.
If we know that a vehicle is at a certain location, the guys will be in constant communication with each other in the different police vehicles, and they'll be identifying a safe place to carry out the intercept. So that is somewhere where the vehicle is maybe static or moving slowly, making sure that it's being done in a safe and controlled manner. They will surround the vehicle, and then we're not getting one of those high-speed pursuits that we all see on television, which are dangerous for everybody involved.
2 from 1, coming up to another set of traffic lights, lights green at the minute. I'll stand by. Light going amber, stand by. That's the vehicle stationary, lights on. Right hand side, right hand side, right hand side.
Put your hands behind your back. There's a bench warrant out for your arrest, and we'll arrest you on the virtue of that bench warrant, alright? You don't have to say anything, we must cause you to mention questions, something which you later around in court may harm defence.
We're saying to people when we come to your town, we're here to catch criminals.
Double lock on them for your safety.
There's no place to hide. If you're out there in a vehicle and the vehicle's on our database, we'll find you and we'll catch you.
We have another crime caught on camera, this time in Banbridge, County Down in December 2020. Do you recognise this man and this woman? They're seen entering the shop together. The man then reaches behind a counter and removes a perfume gift box set from one of the shelves. He comes back and he hands it to the woman, who puts the box into her handbag. We can see her just closing it there. Less than a minute later, the woman leaves the shop without paying for the goods. And as you can see, she is quickly followed out by the man behind her. As you can see, we have some very, very clear images there of the pair. There they are. Can you name them? If so, the number is on your screen now. When it comes to sexual assault and young people, the crime statistics in Northern Ireland are truly shocking. Between April and June this year, more than 3 rapes were reported on average each day. And statistics show that 25% of all rape victims were aged 18 to 25, despite making up just 10% of the population. Our young people are, by far, at greatest risk of sexual assault. In this next film, a young woman shares her experience. Her words are spoken here by an actor.
This happened to me 14 years ago when I was 17. I was at a young farmers club meeting, and when I came out of the toilet, I found that my normal lift with the girl who lived on my road had left. But a lift had been arranged for me with a 19-year-old man. We got in the car, and I thought all it was just a lift home. But he pulled into the lay-by at the top of the road and assaulted me. I was really shocked and didn't say anything until he paused and I said I just wanted to go home. He dropped me home and I didn't say anything. At the next meeting, everyone was getting on like we were going out now. I stopped going. I didn't tell anyone because I felt like I was naive for not realising what the lift meant. I minimised the incident for years, saying to myself, oh, that's just what happens when you're a teenager. Everybody's got a dodgy encounter story. I did eventually tell my sister 10 years later. I am angry with the young man, but most of my anger is reserved for the older members of the club who organised it while I was in the toilet and my friend who left me there. What I would say to that man is, what you did stopped me going to young farmers club meetings. I don't get taxis on my own if I can help it, and I put off learning how to drive for years because I couldn't find a woman instructor. I will not be in a situation where I'm alone in a car with a man.
With me now are Elaine Crory from Raise Your Voice and Detective Superintendent Eamon Corrigan from the PSNI's Public Protection Branch. Welcome to you both. Eamon, harrowing words from that victim there, and it strikes me that it's a very important week for our young people in Northern Ireland. It's Freshers' Week. Many of them are going to be going in their droves to university and to college, and many for the first time. What advice do you have for those young students as they embark on a new and important time in their lives?
As well as part of a wider campaign into safety during Freshers' Week, the PSNI will be sharing messaging from our No Grey Zone website. No Grey Zone was a campaign launched in 2018 to explain the importance of consent and to debunk popular rape myths and myths into sexual assault.
And Elaine, you know, there should be no grey areas, there should be no grey zones. Consent, in theory, should be very, very specific, but it can be a complicated area. But you've actually devised a very simple and practical guide for people.
Yes, we use the acronym FRIES. And in this acronym, F stands for freely given. That means there is no force, no coercion, and no manipulation. R stands for reversible. That means at any stage, you can say no or stop. I stands for informed. That means that the person is old enough to consent, sober enough, and also awake. E is enthusiastic, and this is the gold standard. It is what we should all be aiming for, participation, active participation by all people involved. And then S is specific. This means that each individual sexual act needs consent. And we really want to encourage people to see sex as something that is like a conversation, not like a transaction, something where you need both participants taking part equally for it to work.
And consent, Eamon, is really, really critical. And for you, for investigating officers investigating these crimes, rape and sexual assault are very, very serious.
Yes, the PSNI take every report of rape and sexual assault extremely seriously. On conviction for rape or sexual assault, you can expect to receive a custodial sentence and also end up on a sex offenders register. This can have long-lasting implications for you and for your future prospects of employment.
Looking there, Elaine, just listening to the words of that victim, like many victims of rape and sexual assault, they tend to bury their trauma, to minimise the incident, to maybe push it to the back of their minds. What advice do you have for victims who are perhaps listening or watching this evening?
The first thing we would say is there is no correct way to react. People react differently and in their own time. If they decided they have experienced something like this and they want to reach out for help, there is still the police, there's the Rowan, there's the Rape Crisis Service, there's Nexus, there's Common Youth.
And they don't even have to go and report to the police necessarily. There are all of these agencies like Rowan that can help.
Absolutely. A lot of people don't, for whatever reason, want to report. They want support and they want help. And all of these organisations can provide that for them. There is a 24-hour helpline provided by Nexus. They will talk to any person at all, of any age, of any gender. And you can tell them your story and they will help you.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of research, Eamon, at the moment into some of those rape myths that you mentioned. Let's demolish one of them. When it comes to rape and sexual assault, although drink and drugs are often a factor, they are no defence.
Yes, that's right. Someone who is very drunk or high through alcohol or drugs cannot give consent. Any sexual contact without consent is a crime and we will investigate it. It's as simple as that. And
just to remind people, there are a lot of help. Who should they be contacting? What sort of help is there for them? Yes, you can contact the police on 101. In an emergency, always call 999. And of course, look at the No Grey Zone website. I urge everyone to do that. Absolutely. And of course, if you want to report anonymously, you can always contact Crimestoppers. Thank you both to Elaine and to Eamon. And if you have been a victim of a sexual crime or you would like advice on how to report one, there are links to various agencies on bbc.co.uk/actionline.
You can call Crimestoppers now, and remember it's completely anonymous on 0800 555 111. That's 0800 555 111. Or go online, Crimestoppers.